I was looking at the DVD shelves at the moment, and currently David has all of his marbles in a box top. And don't get me wrong, they're in like protected Blu-ray cases. They're good, they're set. They're just, I was thinking about maybe making some wooden boxes to display them better and keep them safe from the kitten who's currently making it her entire life's mission to throw DVDs. Let's see what we can do. Excuse me, sorry about that. Quit knocking DVDs over, please. They're expensive, they're hard to replace. Go that way. Thank you, dear. That one was Ungentlemanly Warfare. This is why I think the superior method is keeping them in books. The big books of DVD. The big books of DVDs. And now she's run off to the kitchen. That's fine. There's not much she can do in there. Took me, yeah, y'all heard that. I took a second. I was thinking, wait, no, the painting that I had set up in there should be dry by now. So go ahead, have a blast, dear. Go play in the kitchen. Ooh. Quit climbing on the electronics, sweetheart. You've already shown you don't respect them. If you would just go up there and nap like the older ones would, I don't care, like my bookshelves. But when you want to knock stuff off the shelf, go somewhere else with that. Alright, I was in the process of things before I got distracted by the kitten's wanton destruction. And now she's back down the hall. Don't get me wrong, y'all. When they're itty bitty like this, they're adorable. They're sweet. They're precious. She's about the size of a well-harvested sweet potato, which is why I call her my little sweet potato. Because she was underweight when she was born. We've been like feeding her 2, 3, 4 times a day. So now she's slightly overweight, but that's fine. She's gonna run it off. She's a little bundle of energy right now. But yeah, that's little Martina. I need to try out the DC Justice League whatever game. I kind of want to check it out. Honestly, I want to find a nice MMO game that I can play to enjoy with y'all. I just... meh. I know Red Dead's like the one, but when it first came out, I beat the crap out of the online game. Like, spent a embarrassing amount of money to get the moonshine, the bounty hunter, I had all the little unlockables that were jobs. And honestly, I'm not knocking it. The game is awesome. I mean, fundamentally, it is the Western game. It's hard to... I mean, there's Gun for the PlayStation 3, 2. PlayStation 3, I want to say. There's a couple Western games, but the Red Dead franchise is like the Western games. I'm not knocking them. I'm just saying, much like Grand Theft Auto is the Crime Empire game, it's just bleh. From a personal aspect, unless you're just super into the game, I wouldn't get the extra jobs, because they're basically just the other jobs. I mean, I also got the Naturalist expansion to get extra bonus items and healing items, and I got all the expansions when the game first came out, because at the time I was, like, working at Zaxby's, constantly working, and all that, so I had a little bit of cash to burn. It was a democratic economy, and the economy was better. Yeah, just don't go puking on the love seat, baby. That being said, like I said, I'm not knocking the game franchise or the studio in any way. I mean, other than they should treat their staff better, but that's like across the board, all the game franchise studios, you know? I mean, we want them to make these pieces of art, and we want them to be these next level perfects, but we also want them to do it within a year. And we want it to be completely like, we want it to feel like a new game, but we also want it to be cheap. You can't. I mean, it's like when you order the t-shirts and there's 16 shirts for $1 and they're good quality. Okay, if they're good quality and they're that cheap, they're not ethical. There's something fishy here. It's like, as much as I love crochet material, and I do love my crochet stuff, if you run into something that's too cheap and they're not making it themselves like I do, like right there in the booth, yeah, y'all, I would question the hell out of it being ethically sourced, because it's not like the 3D printed crap where they can just type in a thing and get it. You can do that with knitted items. You can, hell, there are even like little YouTube shorts showing how to do that. That they make a little machine that you can buy at Michael's, I believe it is, where you thread the yarn and it'll basically, you crank the little crank on it and it'll make you a scarf, a pair of leggings. You can size it, do what you like. You can also use it to make beanie hats. So it's like, those I get, and for that, not really like gonna judge. But for like the flowers, for the big ticket items for crochet, you can't just print them out. But then again, I've fallen for the bucket of stickers. Y'all, real talk, as an adult, you have adult money. Buy you a 5-pack of 5,000 stickers, and then you can just give away the ones you don't like to folks you like. Or, you know, a little bit of fun vandalism with the ones you don't like. I'm not going to say to do that, but you know, there's always use for a sticker. I'm just saying, don't spend $5 for 10 stickers, something like that, when you know they bought that box for $500. That, of course, excluding the ones that look like they're hand drawing their stuff. But I mean, those you can tell because each bowl's like organized for the most part, or has the ghost of, at the beginning of the convention, these were organized before people got their hands in them. The ones like at the not Pirate Cove, the Cove, for example. Not judging, because they do, I think it's 4 for $1 stickers or something like that. But yeah, they basically buy the giant pack, dump them into the bucket, and if 5 people buy a sticker a week, they've paid for their overhead on the sticker bowl. You know what I mean? And I'm not, like I said, none of this is like judgy. It's just, I think that places like that is fine for a novelty shop, but you shouldn't be able to do that at actual like conventions. Especially ones where especially artist alleys. Like the dealer hall, fine, that's between dealers and people. But in the handmade craft section, it should be, hey, how did you make this? And you can tell me how you can, even with my designs, which are complete like wildfire magic. I just start crocheting and it might be a scarf, might be a hat, might be a purse. The yarn decides, much like my woodworking. But even that, I can show you, here's the process, here's where I decided to do zig instead of zag, here's where I decided I might make a weave and a belt to it rather than just keeping it where it was, where I was originally going to make a poncho. You've got, as an artist, yeah, that's an error, but here's why it's no longer an error. And there are some that I can see issues in that other people don't see issues in, and I'm like, well, I'm selling it at a discount because I can see the holes in the art. But my problem is nobody wants to be artists anymore. Everyone wants to be AI swap servers, and they want to drop ship and buy giant drop shipped items and sell those rather than... Y'all, am I the only one that gets a rush when I sell my artwork? Like, it's a rush. Someone liked my shit so much they were willing to buy it. I don't know how people get that same rush when it's just, yeah, they loved my Temu bullshit. But I mean, it does make more sense with certain things. Like, I now understand why every convention had those neat little, string voodoo dolls, which they still got at several of them. I mean, if you get a good one, then they basically make a monkey's fist out of the head of it, make the body, and basically it's all one piece of, like, whatever cordage they used. And those are pretty cool, because in a pinch you can use that to, you know, do a lot of things in survival situations. Or in non-survival situations, it's a very cute little doodad for your bag. But then you got the cheaper ones, which are basically you buy the styrofoam or you cut and sand styrofoam to make a human shape. Then you wrap that in jute cord and glue it down real good, and there you go. Now, you just gotta, and I hate to be that way, but you just gotta look out for scams everywhere now, it seems. Everyone's trying to get rich, and nobody wants to be ethical about it. If there was ever an ethical way to get rich, I guess. Because I'd argue there wasn't ever one. Like I said, it's just, you know, it's a weird world we live in. I'm gonna have to go clean up a mess I think my dog just made. Ah, crap, where's my coffee cup? Ah, crap. Give me just a second, y'all. Gotta check my drink for cats. Okay, no hair, we're good. I typically like to stash my coffee directly next to the console, but with the kitten wanting to rage war against all electronics, I didn't want my coffee to spill. I've gotten most of the added sugar out of my diet, but as far as, like, my coffee's still creamer and coffee. Sticky. Seafood Goober, do you want up on the couch? Is that why you doing your little stretchy pup? Alright, but you gotta meet me halfway. Come here. Yep, up. Oh, ah. It is neat to think that this place was originally just down to that staircase. And originally it was everything. This has all been hand dug out, as you can see through the chronicles of this one. Ooh. Look at that, and I hate Mark Hearth and accidentally kind of oopsie poops made it. Ooh. Gotta be careful. Alright, y'all, I'm gonna go quiet here for a little while. Just do some chill building. And if y'all, oh, I guess the other thing I could say is the whole cancel culture in video games, whatever it be. The woke gaming controversy, which I think is nonsense. It's, y'all, just let people do the video games they like. Literally, the market can just be buy what you like, ignore what you don't. It doesn't have to be as advanced or as annoying as we make it. I mean, the one that they were coming up with was that everyone was saying that, and I don't know about the Ratchet and Clank universe. I know, call me a fake fan, whatever. I don't do puzzle games as much as I do, like, shooting and sandbox. And fighting in sandbox. But it's like the whole idea that in The Last of Us they just replaced Joel with Ellie. They really didn't. Now they could have if they had put even more time and money in it. They could have made it to where all of your decisions, like in the Telltale games, all of your decisions affect Ellie. But they still kinda did that in the sense that all the forced game interactions, Joel shaped Ellie, and Ellie shaped Joel. Spoiler alert for The Last of Us 2. But it's like, that's why the whole vengeance plot happened. And I'll say that in a time when every game was trying to do its own little escort-esque, let's make them care by making them walk with a damn near useless character, short of the whole swimming thing, Ellie was a pretty useful character in The Last of Us. At no point did I ever go, damn it, now we're dead because of her. But that's the thing, is the people who say that, oh, these are just these are just them, but not a dude, it's, yeah, but are they? Because a lot of the people who say that, I don't think, not to call them fake fans of the series, but they're not really, they didn't take in the series, they took in the shooty aspect, not the overall aspect. It's the same ones that are like, oh, well, Joel doomed the world. I mean, but did he? I mean, I get that from the initial look at, but then if you look at the paperwork that you can find in the game, or in-game universe, you see Ellie wasn't even the first one born under these extraordinary circumstances. And the previous times they've done it, it's produced a small batch vaccine that hasn't done much. Because, you know, much like Ellie will show in the next game when you play as her, I mean, yeah, you won't get infected by the spores, but if a zombified clicker grabs hold of you and rips your throat out, you're still dead. Doesn't matter if you're immune to the spores or not at that point. So it's like when Joel decided not to let them do a wildly experimental surgery that would 100% kill Ellie and might stop the... No, it was desperation. Unfortunately, again, spoiler alert, this is your chance to walk away. Spoiler alerts for Last of Us 2. The game's a little bit older, but I know some people are still enjoying that game before they get to the end. So, spoiler alert for Last of Us 2. This is your chance to walk away now. Okay? Okay. So, basically in The Last of Us 2, Joel and Ellie... fuck, I forgot what I was going to spoiler alert for. Teamwork, escorts. It was one of the twists about it. But it's still just... like I said, people. I don't understand the people who make their entire aesthetic, oh, these games are woke, you shouldn't buy them, but they bought the games. It's the same ones that try to get you real outraged at children's media, and it's like, but why are you upset? It's a kid's show. Well, they made it woke, they did, and it's like, but did they? I mean, I used to, back when the silent generation was a little less silent, I used to constantly hear how they made Looney Tunes woke. And what they meant was that they no longer say slurs. They removed the portion of the Looney Tunes collection that was pre and during World War II. It's like they didn't make it woke, they just made it not hateful. It's it without the lead poisoning. And honestly, that's a lot of what it can be put into, is just the amount of poison gas these folks breathe in. The amount of poison gas we breathe in. That's it, it's just, I'm big on responsibility, and people should take some responsibility for what we do. But that being said, the society that created us also has some small part to play in that as well. I'm hearing the crashing noise of kids tearing up shit they shouldn't. At least that sounds like they're just playing on the bookshelf, so they're just knocking over boxes. Oh, that's not good. Let's not plunge our work area into darkness, shall we? Oh good, he covered Anthony Glabulia. I love Anthony, but Anthony, you gotta change your last name on here, bro. At least put something on there or say your last name each time. Because he does very good, in-depth, like, hour-long deep dives on videos. But his last name is very Italiano. And for a nerdy white dude, that's a very, I mean, that's a choice. It's his name, I'm willing, it's like my last name is Croy. I get that my last name can be a bit odd, but at least it's not a mouthful of syllables, you know? The other side was just, I was watching Tectone, I guess, is very bald, angry man's channel, and talking about how TwitchCon was a big old nasty affair. And I'm not going to talk on it because not a Twitch streamer as much, slowly getting into it. But yeah, women need to be protected a lot more in these environments. It's kind of ridiculous that it's just expected they need to bring their own security. I mean, another huge, ginormous part of that is dudes be better, because you should just be better. But, you know, Tectone trying to flex and pretend like he's going to be a manly man, and he's super, guys, I'm so upset about it, just so upset about it. It's like, but are you? But are you? Because it's like when they cry on camera. I'm not saying don't. I've done it myself on stream when the topic has been very emotional. But don't be getting up on here and be doing that third grade crying, I'm not trying to cry. Because if you're really trying not to cry, bro, nobody's got a gun to your head. Nobody's got your family in a basement somewhere. You can just turn the camera off for a minute, have you a good ugly cry, dry your face, take a few deep breaths, have a cup of tea, and then come back and make your video. You know, I don't understand the streamers that try to hold back emotions that clearly they wanted to project on the video. No. I was about to say, most of the anti-woke people, I just assume they don't like anything.
Rather than looking at the things you should criticize when looking at any piece of media, such as storytelling, pacing, characterization, things like that, they'd rather look at the latest Lord of the Rings anime film and say that movie failed because it had a female protagonist, even though there were many other reasons that movie failed that didn't involve a female protagonist. Or they'll get mad at Nintendo saying they won't get rid of DEI policies and inclusion and call them woke and say they'll fail as a company in the next 5 years. Oh yeah, clearly in the next 5 years, Nintendo is going to be totally out of money. Good luck substantiating that claim, guys. So today, I want to look at some of these anti-woke Japanese media criticisms, talk about why they're not real criticism, and talk about what criticism of Japanese media should look like.
Oh, I still have enough copper to make a few blocks. Before we do that,
That being Nintendo's policy regarding DEI and inclusion. These have actually spawned from two things in particular. Earlier, in May of this year, Nintendo of America's president, Doug Bowser, made a statement talking about the importance of DEI and diversity within Nintendo. Exactly 1 month after this was said, Nintendo launched their highly anticipated flagship console, the Nintendo Switch 2. One thing that was reported upon when the console officially launched was the changes made to the Mii Maker system. On previous Nintendo systems, when booting up the Mii Maker, you'll get a choice between two different starter Miis that you can customize to your liking later on, one being labeled a boy Mii and the other being labeled a girl Mii. However, for Nintendo Switch 2, Nintendo has dropped those two labels, although the Miis they give you are the same exact Miis they've used in previous versions of the Mii Maker. But unfortunately, all it took were these two pieces of news about Nintendo embracing DIE and also the changes to the Mii Maker for the anti-woke grifters to get pretty upset. One such anti-woke grifter made a video talking about how he thinks Nintendo is all woke propaganda now, was Dr. Disaster. Let's take a look at what he had to say. One of the most suffered things in the world is watching someone performative. Kind of funny you describe yourself and most other anti-woke grifters there. Pedal meets pot.
oh, I was also going to point out for someone that says that we shouldn't put on a face for the sake of the internet, he's behind a Rage Sona, which appears to be Plague Doctor meets steampunk. Like I said, I'm not saying don't express yourself. We're all free to like or dislike what we like or dislike. I'm just saying don't go after people for what they like, unless it's like, you know, I don't know. I don't think we should police each other so much, unless, you know, it's something bad we do.
Whenever you boot up Mii Maker, whether it's on 3DS, Wii U, or Switch, you always get two Miis to start with for your template, and Nintendo Switch 2 is doing
I think I went too far.
These are quite literally the same two
I think what I need to do is come to here, build off of it from here.
Oh yeah, clearly Nintendo Switch 2 is completely unplayable just because they changed the Mii Maker system.
There we go. That's a bit better. Now we should be able to thin it out more.
That's obviously the right criticism to make here. Who cares about criticizing the ever-growing sprite points of video games when you can just call these woke? After this, Dr. Disaster talks about Nintendo's statement on DIE and says it's woke propaganda, that clearly they're trying to pander to an audience that doesn't exist in his opinion for some reason. And apparently Nintendo is foregoing the original gamers like himself in his words. They don't care about stories, they care about presenting something. This is their diversity paradigm. It's from these corporate platforms that the term modern audience was coined. That isn't something that gamers made up. That came directly from these big corporate entities who believe they're doing something wonderful by pandering to a group of non-existent people that they imagine would take over gaming spaces and replace the original gamer. You are wrong! Okay, so first off, a lot of corporations discuss DIE exclusive when it comes to their hiring processes overall. This isn't just the gaming industry. Places like Lowe's or Macy's have this in full display on their website. Now, when it comes to fast food places, a lot of them will put VIP on their glass door cases to entice people to apply. Plenty of companies do this and have been doing this for a while now. This isn't anything new or part of any woke agenda. Also, I find it really funny that he thinks that Nintendo is pandering towards an audience that doesn't exist and is meant to replace the original gamers. Oh yeah, because clearly black people or Chinese people or any other ethnically diverse group wasn't playing video games when gaming became a thing. Clearly, we all own white people like Dr. Disaster. Clearly, they're the only original gamers. Nice try, buddy.
Nintendo is one company that has a lot of work in the past, but they have largely managed to avoid making games which spell racism. Unfortunately, it looks like Nintendo is now steering.
Alrighty, we should be able to build a staircase down below now. So while we do that, let's also work out the cliff a bit more.
Nintendo is only now going in on diversity when really that's kind of already been a big part of their company and the characters they create overall. They've had several strong female protagonists in their games for a very long time now, Metroid being the prime example, pun totally intended. Plenty of characters from Fire Emblem also represent this mentality, like Lyn or Lucina. And Nintendo actually has canonical trans characters too, like Vivian from Paper Mario or Birdo. This isn't something new for them whatsoever, so I'm not really sure like Dr. Disaster seems to think so. Ultimately, Nintendo's products have actually reflected different aspects of diversity for a really long time now, so this just doesn't make any sense. But, interestingly enough, while he was talking Nintendo,
Right, y'all. Oh, hello, football quiz. How you doing? Good to see you.
in particular, when it comes to Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater Delta, which is a remake of the original Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater that's set to come out next month, I find it very interesting because he claims that this game, which is set to be an exact remake of the original Snake Eater, is not so. Which, if you know anything about the original Snake Eater game, you probably know where this is going. Let's take a look at what he had to say.
Okay, dude needs to pick a motif on that, because if he's a dread pirate, then why is he in space? And why is he dressed like a steampunk plague guy? Dude just needs to pick a lane is all. I'm not like, too much. Hat on a hat. Any of these traits are fine on their own. Hell, even space piracy's a thing. But you gotta pick a lane, man. You gotta pick a lane with your bad guy motif. Otherwise, you just look like the kid on the playground that chose everything as their superpowers while playing make-believe. And no one wants to play with that kid. I would argue no one wants to be that kid. Oh, they're using the Yoshi sound to cover up the sounds of him cussing. Okay.
About Metal Gear whatsoever. No, you're telling me that a series that is pretty blatantly anti-capitalist and anti-military and just a critique of the military-industrial complex overall, and one that just so happens to feature a bunch of converged LGBT characters isn't quote-unquote woke in your opinion. And it sounds to me like those are the exact things that you guys would normally call quote-unquote woke. But it's funny you're not calling it that. You like Horizon Zero Dawn and The Last of Us 2 do think you guys often get mad at for this quote-unquote woke actually explore a lot of the same things that Metal Gear Solid does and has been for a while. So I find it pretty interesting that you guys always call those games that just so happen to feature a female protagonist quote-unquote woke, but not this one, which happens to feature a male protagonist, but still explores a lot of the same themes that you guys call quote-unquote woke all the time. Get that right, Mark? Ultimately, the reason why Dr. Disaster isn't calling Metal Gear Solid 3 quote-unquote woke, even though by his criteria it probably should be seen as such, is because
Right,
it has
now I
the
have to
masculine version of a male protagonist. Solid Snake is a strong, confident, stealthy guy with a beard. He's not a female character or a person of color, so there's no real reason for Dr. Disaster to try to sell you on the idea that Metal Gear Solid is quote-unquote single out something and call it quote-unquote woke when it meets their own particular agenda. There's no real criticism to be found here whatsoever. It's the same exact this media finds a satirical article on Peanut Marts not being homosexual enough and decides to take it as fact and present it as such.
This one is basically complaining about Sora's sexuality.
How can you guys not see that this is satire? Nobody in their right mind would take this seriously except for you, apparently. Clowns this TV. Or like when 8-bit Eric tries to claim that Capcom is woke now just for localizing their games, apparently.
Capcom is going full woke. It's a freaking shame, ladies and gentlemen. They announced on their Capcom localization team Twitter, yes, another localization team causing chaos. They posted this tweet that they're extremely proud of, calling it a global adventure through the land of game localization. It sounds exciting and fun. Do you guys remember when localization meant you were trying to explain to like 9-year-old kids why there's rice cakes in Pokemon?
Dude, come on. They call them jelly donuts in that episode. They don't call them rice cakes. That's been like a huge localization theme for a long time. Are you really going to try to claim that something like that that's been mocked for a long time now is an example of good localization? Nice try. Or like when Andy Jans Gaming tries to claim a puzzle game is gay and woke just because he doesn't like that Xbox put it on Game Pass.
Another prop for gay double off.
Well,
All you need is help. Dive into a quirky multiplayer co-op puzzle game where adorable, fluffy, cute creatures collaborate to reach their goals. These creatures, each oddly shaped, jostle against each other to help solve puzzles together. Like, Xbox used to be trash and expected to play. I grew up in an era where Xbox fall lineup was like Splinter Cell, Max Payne, Savage Worlds. That's right, little piggy. Gobble down the gay communist slop Xbox yes, early this simple puzzle game called All You Need Is Help with little cute animal characters as gay communist slobs. It got a world propaganda.
hello, soccer edits and football quiz. How y'all doing?
Exactly what he needs. But interestingly enough, it's not even just Japanese video games that these anti-woke grifters will get mad at. They've also gotten mad at anime
We're
as
just
well.
slowly working our way
They've
down.
actually gotten mad at is
Nice.
a unknown one called the Cafe Terrace and its Goddesses. This is a pretty simple slice of life anime where a young boy inherits his grandmother's cafe where a bunch of young girls work as maids. He must work
Ooh,
together with
there's
these
my
girls to get the
minerals
cafe
and
back
such.
into tip-top shape and make his grandmother proud. Admittedly, I'm not the biggest fan of this animation. There's a bit too much fan service for my personal liking, but if you like it, more power to you. However,
I'm confused by what you're asking for.
not really for the right reasons at all. Let's take a look at one of the videos that was talking about it.
I had no idea that I was going
Still new to this whole streaming thing, even a few thousand videos in.
I've been watching certain anime. I have friends that are into anime and they recommend things from time to time. But something like this, a friend of mine was like, yeah, you should check it out. I think they were having a practical joke. Terrace and Drugs. The reason why we're talking about this is because this show, and I watched the first 3 episodes.
Yay, we finally found our way down to the bottom.
That I wasn't really fully aware of. This show really helps to put things in perspective. I despise the premise that is apparently a common trope in anime, where you have the main character get beat up by one or more female characters. I cannot stand it. I don't think I've ever been as off-put by a show as I have been with this one just immediately on that premise. The main character is in the bathtub, okay? I don't wanna show
I can't really do that from this screen, I don't believe.
the sign outside of
But later on, sure, why not?
that, and one of the girls, of course, walks in, and she doesn't have a towel on, and walks right in. The girl stands there and looks at it, and just makes, acts like an idiot.
Wow, I guess this gives Templar the award for the
Yeah, I'm gonna disconnect the headset for the moment, just because we still gonna go for a while, but
Chick with the blue hair hears a commotion, comes into the bathroom, sees that he's in the bathroom, gets like anime
well, despite you asking very nicely, is once again I'll say I don't know how to do that. But I appreciate you being in the audience, and sit down and enjoy the show, I suppose. Y'all have a good one. I'll be back in a bit.
huh?